So Ruben Amorim is yet again set to try and get a statement victory over Leicester City, a team coached by Ruud van Nistelrooy, who certainly will feel cheated following how Manchester United beat them the last time they took us on. Remember that late goal from Harry Maguire, which honestly we all saw. It was an offside, but I mean, it was what it was, isn't it? Welcome again to the United Sport. Here is the match preview of this important one. Leicester up against Man United. Our next game is what we should be focusing on. Forget about the exciting display of certain individuals in the previous game. The focus should be on to the next. Now, speaking of the next game, Paul Scholes has come out and made it clear that to him, he certainly believes that Alejandro Garnacho is becoming the go-to guy for Manchester United. He's becoming the star boy, and he's beginning to be the player that Amorim could trust to take him forward, especially in terms of transitions. Now, Garnacho, remember, in the past 3 games has been so amazing. If you do recall that assist he gave to Joshua Zirkzee, then his performance against Arsenal, that I don't need to break down to anyone. I think you all saw it. Now, you talk about how he played against Real Sociedad. Playing on the right clearly is his position. Now, obviously, for me, it is going to be one of those things we'll be excited about every time going into a United game. Now, Garnacho has just got to continue doing this, and not him alone, because several youngsters have continued to shine. And if you look at performances of players like Toby Collier, who has come off the bench, should be in the last game, I think, the past 2 games, I think, comes off the bench, and he's putting on a proper performance. And guys have even forgotten about Manuel Ugarte, who was also available on the bench but did not play a single minute in that game against Real Sociedad. You look at the youngsters and feel maybe now they have earned the right to be getting enough minutes. So it's I think, again, going to be very interesting to see whether Amorim will trust them. Remember, this is the Premier League. The next game is in the Premier League. The Premier League games are always a different ball game altogether. The approach is different. The intensity is different. So those who convince Ruben Amorim to start in Premier League games are definitely always going to be considered the best players for Man United. So it's going to be a grudge match, one that I believe we are going to have to put in a lot of effort to try and salvage something. But the beauty is Amorim, again, with a little bit of depth, will rest certain players and keep them fresh for the next game. I want to believe that Manuel Ugarte is certainly going to be starting ahead of Casemiro. I don't see Casemiro playing at that intensity, at that level for 3 consecutive games. But also the intensity of the Premier League, the directness of Leicester City and how they come at you, you certainly want a more physical player in the middle. So I want to expect that we are going to see Manuel Ugarte start ahead of Garnacho, rather ahead of Casemiro. Then I expect, of course, Bruno. I think now Amorim said Bruno can play as an 8, as a 10, as a 6, all these positions. And at times, even if he wants to see him more advanced because of how dangerous he is close to the goal, he certainly is poised for choice to in terms of where to put him. Now, that's how important Bruno is to Man United, but also that's how versatile he is, a very important thing. And you want to believe that Amorim has succeeded a lot in trying to work on the grey area that Bruno has to his game. That is the issue of frustration and, of course, being over-passionate and showing his teammates that he doesn't perhaps trust them at times and wanting to do everything. And I spoke about it here before. Amorim pointed it out to I think it was to TNT Sports when he was talking to Paul Scholes and the team. And he said one of the things that he has tried to help Bruno to reduce is how he wants to be the one to take responsibility, whereas it's a good thing because as a captain you want to lead like that. He doesn't want to overdo it because then it exposes his teammates as if he doesn't trust them, as if he wants to do the role of everyone, which doesn't look good at all on him. So that's, for me, a bit of something we want to appreciate. So if you take time and look at some of the things or the positives that Amorim has, or the positive impact that Amorim has made on individual players, I think they are there. They are quite commendable, but they will all make sense if we are winning games of football in the Premier League consistently. Teams like Leicester City certainly wounded a bit because they are fighting relegation. Expect a tough game, but it should be one we can navigate comfortably because we feel now that our players are more free. Our players are more expressive. Our players have a better understanding and perhaps belief and appreciation for the system Amorim wants them to play. So the back three now is beginning to make sense for everyone, and it's enjoyable. I must admit. So that's what we're hoping for. But in terms of course, players who will start, I don't think there is a lot of science in Ruben Amorim's starting 11s lately. I think with the fit players known, I think it's easy to predict who will start. But even if you don't, Amorim has never been a respect of individuals. So anyone who will be there will be able to perform. He has been impressed by Heidenheven, saying if he continues to play like this, he will certainly be getting more minutes. And you want to hear that about these young players. And I hope Chido returns and as well is slotted into the team. I hope he gets more minutes, or perhaps him being on the bench alone, pushing Hoyland to get that goal. And when he gets it, Chido comes on off the bench and also makes his impact on the game. I feel like the transition now has come to life, and it's exciting. It's boiling me from within. I feel excited about it. I don't know about you, but you can tell me. I personally feel so excited about the whole rebuild and what direction it's taking and how it's taking shape. We are now, I think, past we're out of the woods, if I would call it. I think we are now trying to get back on our feet. Long way to go, but the direction is clear and it's exciting. You see, football is quite spiritual, a game that your gut really tells you whether you're headed in the right direction or not. I want to be honest. I never felt in my gut for one day that positive feeling and fire in my belly about Erik ten Hag, honestly, even when we were finishing third, maybe a little bit in the first season, but still, his press conferences did not win me over. So I feel that Amorim has given me that positive thing in me. I don't know about you, and you can tell me whether you've got the feeling, but there is that fire in the belly you get when you listen to Amorim speak, when you see his responses to games, even games we've not performed well. So it's not about excitement because we played 2 good games. I think there is a lot for us to have proper belief that everything will be all right with Man United. So subscribe, guys, like, share, comment, and let's keep pushing this rebuild as Sir Jim Ratcliffe leads us into the promised land. Cheers.